I told my mom about you, and she didn't reply right away. Sometimes silence says what words can't. Her caution wasn't rejection. It was a silent prayer for me to be safe in a world that can be cruel. When I spoke about you, my mom's face changed, like she saw a version of you I wasn't ready to meet. Love can blind, but a mother's heart often sees what lies beneath the surface with painful clarity. She said, "Not everyone who loves you will protect yours." The hardest part was hearing her doubts, not because they hurt, but because they made me rethink everything. My mom's words echoed long after our conversation. "You deserve a love that feels like a safe harbor." She didn't want to break my hope. She wanted to shield me from heartbreak disguised as love. I realize sometimes we need the honest eyes of those who love us to see what our hearts miss. My mom's honesty was a gift wrapped in tough love, painful to unwrap, but healing once opened. She said, "Love is a journey, but never lose sight of who you are on the way." Her words made me realize that love isn't just about two people. It's about everyone who cares for you. Sometimes the people who love us the most ask the hardest questions because they want the best answers. My mom's doubts were like a mirror reflecting what I was too scared to admit to myself. I saw love through my mom's eyes for the first time, as something that should never hurt the soul. She didn't want me to lose myself chasing a dream that wasn't built to last. My mom's words were a warning bell, ringing loud enough for me to stop and listen. If this touched your soul, don't scroll. Like, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. Love can be messy, but it shouldn't leave your heart bruised and your spirit broken. I spoke to my mom about you, and she said, sometimes love means walking away before you're broken. Her doubts were a reminder that love should be a source of peace, not constant worry. My mom's honest words helped me see that sometimes love needs boundaries to survive. She told me, "Your heart is precious. Guard it fiercely, even from the ones you love." When I shared my feelings, she listened and then gently reminded me to put myself first. Love isn't about losing your voice to please someone else. It's about finding your strength together. My mom's caution was like a lighthouse, guiding me away from dangerous waters I hadn't yet seen. She wanted me to know that love should lift me higher, not leave me sinking in doubt. Sometimes the hardest part of love is accepting the truth that someone isn't right for you. My mom's wisdom was a balm to my restless heart, teaching me that love isn't enough without respect. When I spoke to her, I realized that protecting myself is the first step toward true love. She didn't just see the person I loved. She saw the impact they could have on my future. I realized that sometimes the best way to love someone is to love yourself enough to let go. My mom's doubts were not a rejection of you, but a plea for me to choose wisely. When I told her about you, she reminded me that self-love is the foundation of every healthy relationship. Sometimes, love asks us to be brave. Brave enough to walk away and heal. She said, "True love never makes you question your worth or your happiness." I spoke to my mom about you, and her caution helped me see that love should never hurt this much. Her words were a reminder that love should empower, not weaken, the person you cherish most, yourself. Sometimes, the love we think we want isn't the love we truly need. My mom's perspective was a gift, a chance to rewrite my story with clarity and strength. She said, "Protect your heart like the treasure it is, and never settle for less than you deserve." Love without respect is like a flower without sunlight, destined to wither. I realized that listening to those who love me is sometimes the bravest act of all. My mom's warnings helped me uncover the strength I didn't know I had. She reminded me that love is not a battle to win, but a peace to cherish. I spoke to my mom about you, and through her eyes, I found the courage to see the truth. Sometimes, the greatest act of love is choosing yourself over a story that's not meant to be. My mom's honesty was a light in the fog of uncertainty, guiding me toward healing. She told me, love is sacred, and so is your heart. Protect both with all your might. When I shared my feelings, she listened with love, then showed me the strength to protect my soul. I spoke to my mom about you, and her words stayed with me. Sometimes love requires painful honesty. She told me, not every heart meant to stay will stay, but every ending leads to a new beginning. My mom reminded me that love should nurture my soul, not drain it. I learned that true love never demands you lose your voice to be heard. When I told her about you, she saw beyond the surface and worried about the wounds I couldn't see. She said, love should build you up, not break you down. My mom's words were a gentle warning wrapped in fierce protection. Sometimes the hardest truths come from the people who love us most. She reminded me that self-respect is the foundation of any lasting love. I realized love can blind us, but a mother's intuition is rarely wrong. My mom's doubts helped me face the reality I was too scared to accept. She said, your heart is precious. Don't give it away to someone who doesn't value it. I spoke to my mom about you, and suddenly I saw love through clearer eyes. She taught me that it's okay to walk away from love that doesn't feel right. Sometimes love means choosing yourself over a story that's hurting you. My mom's words were a lifeline in the storm of my feelings. She reminded me that love should feel like safety, not a battlefield. I realized that protecting my heart is the bravest form of love. When I told her about you, she didn't judge. She cared deeply about my happiness. She said, never settle for love that makes you question your worth. My mom's honesty gave me strength to face the truth about us. Love without respect is just a fragile illusion, she reminded me. I learned that love should empower, not diminish the person you are. My mom's concerns were desperately needed. She said, sometimes loving yourself means walking away from what hurts you. I spoke to my mom about you, and her wisdom was a balm to my aching heart. She reminded me that love should inspire peace, not chaos. Sometimes the greatest act of love is protecting your own heart first. My mom's words helped me find clarity in a sea of confusion. She said, true love honors your boundaries and celebrates your strength. I realized that love should never ask me to sacrifice my happiness. My mom's doubts were a shield, not a sword, protecting me from pain. She taught me that sometimes the hardest love is self-love. When I told her about you, she saw the cracks I was trying to hide. She said, love should feel like home, not a place of fear. My mom's honesty helped me stop chasing a love that wasn't meant for me. I learned that sometimes letting go is the most loving thing you can do. She reminded me that my heart deserves kindness and care above all else. My mom's words were a gentle reminder that love should be a source of joy. I spoke to my mom about you, and her concerns opened my eyes to a painful truth. She said, don't lose yourself trying to hold on to someone who isn't holding you. Love should feel like freedom, not a cage. My mom helped me see that. I realized that love without peace is a wound waiting to fester. My mom's words were a lighthouse guiding me away from heartbreak. She reminded me that I'm worthy of a love that uplifts and supports me. Sometimes the people who love us most are the ones who say the things we need to hear. My mom's honesty was a gift, even if it was hard to accept. She said, protect your heart like the treasure it is. I spoke to my mom about you, and she showed me the strength in choosing myself. She reminded me that love should never leave me feeling small or lost. My mom's doubts helped me face a reality I was avoiding. She said, the right love makes you feel safe, not scared. I realized that loving myself is the first step toward finding true love. My mom's words were a mirror reflecting what I was too afraid to see. She taught me that sometimes love means walking away for your own good. When I told her about you, she worried not about you, but about my heart. She said, love should heal, not hurt. My mom's honesty gave me the courage to protect my heart. I learned that love should be a source of strength, not weakness. My mom's words reminded me that I deserve a love that brings me peace. I spoke to my mom about you, and her silence said more than words ever could. Sometimes the truth is in what's left unsaid. When I told my mom about you, her eyes didn't sparkle. They clouded with worry, and suddenly I saw you through her unfiltered lens. My mom didn't say you were perfect. Instead, she warned me to protect my heart from the storms she saw brewing inside you. She wasn't silent out of judgment, but because she saw shadows in your past I never noticed until that moment. I thought I knew you well, but hearing my mom's honest words made me realize love can sometimes blind us to reality. My mom said, love doesn't mean ignoring red flags. It means knowing when to walk away for your own peace. When I spoke about you, my mom's protective instincts kicked in, reminding me love should feel like home, not a battlefield. I asked my mom what she thought of you, and her answer was simple. Be careful. Sometimes the sweetest faces hide the hardest truths. No. My mom didn't just see you. She saw the pain you might bring, and that scared her more than anything else. Sometimes the people who love us the most are the ones who see what we refuse to admit about someone else. My mom's words echoed in my mind. Trust your heart, but don't let it cloud your judgment. When I shared your story, she reminded me that love is powerful, but so is self-respect. My mom's doubts were not about you. They were about protecting the fragile pieces of me. She knowed me. She told me, sometimes, the hardest part of love is knowing when it's time to say goodbye. I wanted my mom to love you, but her honest silence taught me that sometimes love must be tempered by wisdom. My mom didn't see a fairy tale. She saw the real person beneath the charm, and her caution was a shield, not a sword. Hearing my mom's perspective was like opening my eyes for the first time to truths I didn't want to face. Love isn't just about how someone makes you feel. Sometimes it's about how they affect the people who care for you most. My mom's skepticism wasn't meant to hurt me. It was her way of saying, I want you safe, even if it means hard truths. I realized that while love can blind, a mother's intuition often pierces through the darkest illusions. My mom's honest opinion forced me to ask myself, is this love or story I'm telling myself to feel alive? When I talked about you, she didn't judge. She worried, and that worry made me see our story differently. Her words were a mirror, reflecting parts of you I chose to ignore because I was caught in hope. My mom's honest doubt became the wake-up call I needed to protect my heart from heartbreak. Sometimes the person who knows you best can also see what you're afraid to admit about someone else. My mom's words were heavy, but they carried the weight of love. Love that wants only the best for me. I thought her disapproval was a battle, until I realized it was a gift wrapped in tough love. My mom warned me that not every heart that beats with passion is built for forever. When I spoke to her about you, she didn't just hear your name. She heard every unspoken story behind it. My mom's concerns made me question everything I thought I knew about love and loyalty. Sometimes the hardest people to listen to are the ones who love us enough to tell us the truth. I told my mom about you, and she reminded me that love is patient but never blind. My mom didn't just hear your name. She saw the patterns I was too hopeful to notice. The moment I shared you with her, I saw the protective barrier she built around me tighten. My mom's words were not a condemnation, but a plea for me to love myself enough to be cautious. When love and caution collide, it's not weakness. It's wisdom in disguise. My mom didn't say no because she didn't care. She said no because she cared too much. I realize sometimes the best love stories begin when we listen to the voices warning us of heartbreak. My mom's skepticism was a shadow in my bright world, uncomfortable but necessary. I wanted her approval, but instead I got her honesty. Sometimes the hardest thing in love is accepting that your heart isn't the only one with a say. My mom's words echoed in my soul. Love should never make you lose yourself. I spoke to my mom about you, and her worries were a reminder that love needs boundaries to survive. Her concern wasn't about you being unworthy. It was about me deserving better. Sometimes we need a guardian's eyes to see what our own can't. My mom was that guardian. I thought love meant ignoring the noise, but sometimes the noise is a signal we must heed. My mom taught me that love, without respect, and care is just pain waiting to happen. When I spoke to her, I realized that love is built on uncertainty. She didn't say, "You were wrong." She said I deserve peace, and that changed everything.